The new format blessed us with some pretty strong decks, and the answer to that? Well, it's Belo Betty. That's the reason why in today's video we are going to take a look at this leader's strategy, as well as the deck list I've constructed for this, as well as some games against each of the Luffys that are present in the current meta. I'm your host, Lewis Hamilton, and this is OP11 Belo Betty. Let's first start with the deck list I chose to use. For the 2k counter cards, we first have Bartholomew Kuma, which is a trigger body as well. If your leader has the Revolutionary Army type and the total of your opponent's life is 5 or less, play this card. And the second card we have is the Koala from OP05. On play, if your leader has the type Revolutionary Army, give up to one of your opponent's characters power minus 3000 for this turn. Kuma can also function as a character we can cheat out with both of the Ivankovs as well. And Koala has some nice utility to it because the minus 3000 power can actually combo off with some other cards. Speaking of the aforementioned removal, we actually have 3 outlets of removal inside of this deck. First one being the Kuma out of OP05, which is nice if you go second because it can KO a 2k power or less character on play, which means your opponent's searches will be gone when this card hits the field. So if you swing with it the following turn, it won't get removed by a free swing from a searcher. It rather forces your opponent to swing with his leader into this. Additionally, this character has a trigger which lets you play it for free, meaning you have another target to boost with your leader afterwards. And then there's the Lindbergh out of OP05. When attacking, if this character has 7000 power or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3000 power or less. Also, this character has a trigger, which lets you play it out for free as well. Last but not least, there's also Gum Gum Molgun. Main, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 5000 power during this turn. Then if you have a character with a 6000 power or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 2000 power or less. Trigger, activate this card's main effect. So as you can see, this is what I meant when I said you can combo cards with Koala. Because in combination with her, you can KO a 5k body with Kuma, a 6k body with Lindbergh, and even a 10k body with Gum Gum Molgun. But don't get too focused on this because this is not what the deck tries to do mainly. Let's move on to the blockers before I explain you what this deck does. Looking at the blockers, well, I should say it in singular because there's only one blocker. We play it as a playset, and that would be the Karasu. This is just a 3-cost 4k blocker with a 1k counter, which can cheat itself out of life with its trigger effect, and is also a valid target for the Ivankovs to play out with. Now it's starting to get interesting. These 2 cards are a glimpse of what this deck strategy is about, because these 2 cards are rushes and the dragon is our only top end in this entire deck. We run both of these cards as 2-offs, same goes for Gum Gum Molgun. Everything else you see and will see is run as a playset. Because with our leader ability, we want to have the most amount of Revolutionary Army cards we can have. And coincidentally, these 2 cards are Revolutionary Army cards as well. The dragon has a rush and an on-play effect, which can give your leader or a character 2 of your rested Don. So if you play this character out, it will essentially be a 6-cost 9k rusher. And the Inazuma, well, this is a 3-cost 4k body, which can gain rush if your opponent boosts this by 3, which is the perfect stat line because your opponent can only boost by 3. So this is a card that can gain rush if it's boosted, and most of the times you can cheat this out as well. Let's move to the bread and butter of this deck. Now, this category is called 1-costs. Why is that? Because this leader is earning its rent off of 1-costs. So because your leader can boost a Revolutionary Army type or a trigger character, all of these 3 cards can be boosted by your leader. Imagine going second and playing 2 of these on your first turn. Now you will go into your 4th turn, you can attack and have 2 bodies which you can boost with your leader ability as well. This means you throw 1 card out for your leader ability, which means you now have 3 5k swings into your opponent's life. This is actually really hard to counter out for most decks because the tempo is just too fast. Now, me describing this will maybe make you think that it can't get better. Well, hold on, because if we take a look at the combo cards, we can see that there's one particular card which costs 4 Don, which can be played on that follow-up turn, which makes this actually busted. I may introduce you now to the card on your right. This card is Karasu. On play, if your leader's type is Revolutionary Army, give up to one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 1000 power during this turn. And it does not end there. When attacking, if this character has 7000 power or more, give up to one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 1000 power during this turn. This means if you have the scenario I just described and you were able to put 2 1 costs on the board, you will have the opportunity to play this card out on your 4-don turn and swing those 3 5k swings into a 4k leader. Of course, assuming your opponent has a standard 5k leader. But that's not the thing. The thing is that this card can also, when attacking, reduce your opponent's leader by 1k. And what if you can find multiple of these? Then it gets frustrating. Because there are only so many 2ks in each deck, and what else can you do than take life? But your life is limited, and this is where this deck's strength comes in. On top of that, you can cheat this Karasu out with the Ivankov in the middle. Activate main if this character has 7000 power or more. Play up to 1 Revolutionary Army type character other than Ivankov with power 5000 or less. And then we also have the 5/6 Ivankov on the left. On play, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, play up to 1 Revolutionary Army type character with a power of 5000 or less, then return the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. Which means that these characters will always be additional buddies you can boost afterwards, which will make it really hard on your opponent. Especially if you can follow up with other copies of Karasu as well. A little fun fact on the side, Karasu means crow in Japanese and dark water in Turkish. Let's move on. This is the final deck list we will use in this video. As you can see, there is a heavy focus to play as many Revolutionary Army cards as you possibly can. But there are also other builds for this leader. This is a version which uses the stage card of the Revolutionary Army. Its effect lets you trash 1 card from your hand and take a look at the top 3 cards of your deck to add 1 Revolutionary Army card to your hand. This effect is handy to guarantee to see the most amount of Karasus you possibly can, but I see the downside of it not being a character as too high to deem it to be justified to be played in my list. You can include it, which is highly recommended, but I just like the character on board more. There's also the inclusion of Kid and Killer, which is a 4-cost potential 7k swinger, which is way better than Inazuma, but how many non-rev army cards do you want to play? I deemed this as less useful as the Inazuma, which made me not include it in my list. And then there's this list, which tries to implement as many triggers that cheat out of life as humanly possible, which are also all Revolutionary Army type cards. So this list is a 100% Rev Army type list, which helps you to never whiff on your 5-cost Ivankov, which cheats out of deck. Well, except if you see a monkey dragon, because that character is out of reach for that effect. But more importantly, with this list, you have your leader ability always live and active. But how much is that worth if you can always guarantee your leader ability but not build a sustainable board? Or rather, what's the reasoning behind having only trigger characters in your deck as the strategy if you only have a limited amount of life? Let's now take a look at the matchups. Because the gist of this video is having a counter against the purple epidemic, we will start off with the purple Luffy leaders. Against Luffy, I was able to win 6 out of 10 games. Against the UP Luffy, I was able to win even 7 out of 10 games. And with the GP Luffy, it was a bit harder, I have to admit, but it was still half the games I've played which I have won. The instinct would be to take away first from these decks, which is totally fine, but as I described to you earlier on, going second is just better for your strategy, and you will have to evaluate what's more important. Sometimes it's better to disrupt your opponent's strategy, but often it's better, and that's the case with this deck, to take the curve that fits your deck better, and that would be second in these matchups. By far the worst matchup in this meta is against the OP09 Buggy. because this deck has access now to a promo card which prevents 3 and 4 cost characters from attacking. And as with Belo Betty, that's our whole entire strategy. You might not agree on this, but Law is actually pretty manageable. I've accomplished to win 7 out of 10 games against this deck, although you have to focus on life and ignore the board for this matchup. Shanks being a red deck should be our natural rival, and I've come to realize that it is pretty much on edge with this matchup, because it is 4 out of 10 games I could manage to win on average, just because its leader ability is pretty good into our strategy. Let's talk about what we want to start with now. If I'm being completely honest, all I want in my hand are Belo Bettys and Karasus. But that's not possible for most cases, so we've increased the numbers. So I would want to start with any 1 cost, preferably the Belo Betty, but any 1 cost, 2 preferably in my hand on my first turn. Going second will guarantee that I have 2 attackers the following turn. The next best thing I can have is the Karasu. The more I can find him, the less likely the opponent will have a chance to win the game. And that increases with the last card we want to see in our hands, and that's the 5 cost Ivankov, because it can dig 3 deep if we won't be able to find a Karasu until our 5 or 6 turn turn, and then maybe luckily have one of those on top of our life, which we can then proceed to cheat out with the Ivankov. So essentially it's 4 more pseudo copies of the Karasu. We are starting off against UP Luffy, and this hand is to mulligan 4, and yeah, we are lucky with this second hand because now I can play out this Charlotte Poi to follow it up in the next turn, and he decides to ramp with his vent and swing 7, which we will take. Now we have 3 Karasus and a Belo in hand, so I'm deciding on if I should play this Belo out or if I should establish a Karasu first. But the right call would be play this Belo out and then go ahead and play this Inazuma. So we will have maximized the efficiency of our leader. I'm going to take a 2k here. Yeah, let's take the 2k, the Koala. Yeah, and play this Inazuma out. Now if we use our leader ability in the next turn, we will have the opportunity to boost exactly 3 characters. So I think that was the right call in that moment. And what he can do now is he's at 6 on. He can play out a blocker, the Nami, the 5 cost 6k blocker, or ramp. It's an option too. He uses It's to Die for and a gear 2. So he has now ramped thrice, which is okay. Let's take this hit as well. Maybe we get a trigger. Yeah, we get the Kuma, which is nice. So now we have 4, with our leader, 5 swings this turn. Let's play out the Karasu. Yeah, minus the leader. It's really simple from here on. Let's pitch the Karasu for our leader ability, because the blocker Karasu can come in handy later on. We boost our little 2k characters and then swing with the Kuma first. So now this is 5 hits on our 3rd turn. This is tough for him. I think he'll take all but 1, and this one I think he will take, or rather he counter out all but 1, and this one will be countered out as well. Yeah, it's a gear 2, and what if you don't know what gear 2 does, it boosts your leader by 3k on counter, and on main it ramps 1 Don. It has the stipulation of your leader having to be multicolored and blue, I think, but yeah, not a problem at all. So what he can do now is he's at 10 Don. He can play out a Linlin, put our Karasu into life. Then it would be the right option to focus on board. I'm going to counter out this one, just to be sure to have a second rather bigger attacker now. And he plays out Kata, which is okay. How we do this? What will we boost first? I mean, if we boost the Karasu, its effect comes live. So let's actually do that. Pitch the 2k, boost the Karasu, and doesn't matter what else. But now if we swing, because we need to be a 7k with Karasu, we can minus his leader. So the right thing to do is to not play another Karasu, but swing this Karasu first, because I think in this turn we can go lethal. Let's swing this first, minus him by 1k. I think this turn this game is decided. He uses the Gum Gum Giant. If you ask why, because he has only one Don active. So nah, let's not swing first. This will be an easy counter. Let's play the Karasu on top of the Karasu that we have swung with already. So we will have in total 5 more swings, which go onto of a 4k leader. Let's swing this first. It could be a simple 2k, but he takes it. So let's see what he has in at counter. He counters with 2 1ks. It's okay. So I think we have this game at this point, but let's see what comes else. Yeah, that's it. So now we are going against GP Luffy, and this is the best hand I've had. It's possibly the best hand you can get. I mean, the fifth card is not important, but if you get 2 Belos, 2 Karasus, you already win the game. I swear, man. So we go second as well, which is great for us. And let's play these 2 Belos out. It doesn't matter what we get out of this, but let's get the Ivankov. Or the Karasu would be better. Another Karasu. This is tough for him. 4 Karasus. This is crazy, man. I don't even have the time to play these 4 out. Yeah, let's see what this game brings to us. I'm really excited for this match. And he's now at 3 Don. Decides to play the stage into a 1-cost Nami. And what will he pick up here now is a Luffy Taro. Okay, I can see the vision. So we can expect a Luffy Taro into a Sanji Pudding. And I don't know on what he decides now. On swinging. And we take that, which is great. We get the Kuma trigger as always and pop the Nami. So now we can play the Karasu. Oh, this is so great, man. And now I can boost 2 Belos and a Kuma, which is way too fast for him. Let's pitch a Karasu, because at this point maybe we don't need 4. Let's be honest. And now 4 5k swings into a 4k leader. This is brutal, man. And he takes the first 2. I think what he decided last turn is to let the Don stay open or to attach it onto his leader, which he probably is regretting right now. Yeah. But he actually had a decent hand size, so I think he's still in a good spot. That's met with a 2k, and what will he do now? He takes it. So early on, he's at 1 life. Mind you, this was my 2nd turn. Let's pass and see what he does. So he uses Sanji Pudding as expected. His leader is now at 6, which is no big deal to us. And I'm guessing he swings a Nami and his leader into each of our characters. And I'm going to counter this out. Call me crazy, but I'm going to counter this out. Yeah. Because I have a feeling we actually win next turn. Or if all things go south, and the turn after that. And what will he do? He swings into life, which is a tremendous mistake, because we already have 4 characters on board. You need to swing on board, mate. Oh, that explains it. He has Electrical Luna, which is okay. Smart play by him, I admit it. Shall we play another Karasu? Nah. I think we have this game. Let's boost our stuff. 8 into 5. There's no way he doesn't use a Gum Gum Giant here. And then he takes it, okay. That's unexpected. So now I'm debating on playing out a second Karasu. Because he took that life. Yeah, let's do that. And swing 7 into 4. What will you do, brother? It's a Gum Gum Giant and a 2k. You are fine, man. Okay. 2 2ks. And what will he do now? Okay, another 2k, which is fine. Either way, he got out of that. He had no Gum Gum Giant, or he rather wouldn't want to minus that many Don. But I don't think I've played it optimally, because I could have played the Karasu first before swinging with the other Karasu. But he took that life either way, so. And I was assuming he is playing another Electric Luna, or does anything he can to remove the one Karasu. So I thought it would be a good thing to establish a second Karasu, which is standing. Yeah. And what he does is he plays out a Luffy Taro into Zorojuro this time. And leader ability comes in as well. So he now has 3 additional Don to use. And picks up this Sanji. Okay. So he's farming counter right now in his hand. And he used that event, which is okay as well. And he does the right thing now. To swing into our board is the right decision. And I can play this dragon out now, I think. And attach the 2 Don. Use the leader ability. Let's pitch, it doesn't matter. And boost these 3. And this is a mistake as well, isn't it? Yeah. But I think we have the game either way. 14 into 6. It's just way too tough, man. What will he do? Gum Gum Giant into Straw Sword. 2 2ks, a 1k. He comes. That's clean, man. But what will he do now? I think this is a GG's. Well played, mate. Good game. Yeah. And we are finishing the holy trinity of purple Luffys with the daddy of them all. And this is actually a great hand, if you believe it or not, because we have all we need. Let's take the Kuma, maybe? Yeah, let's take the Kuma and play out another Belo into a Karasu. This is great, man. It feels so great to play this deck. You don't understand if you don't play it yourself, because it feels like cheating, if you know what I mean. Because who else has 2 5k attackers in his second turn? It's brutal, man. And he's now in his 3 Don turn and swings 8 into life. Okay, we get the trigger. Let's trash the Mulgun, I think. And now we have maximized on efficiency, because that first card out of our life, as always, is a trigger. Play out the Karasu. His leader is at 4. Use the leader ability. Let's trash this non-counter. And 5 into 4. He probably takes. Okay. Then this one. Okay. 5 into 4 again. Okay. 3 cards in hand. Mate, what are you doing? What the fuck? Okay. He's very keen on staying alive and healthy, but you need hand size, mate. Oh, okay. Plays out a blocker. But unfortunately, I don't have more than 7 cards in hand. Or rather, more than 6 cards, because this card triggers on 7 cards. So let's play out the Ivankov. Let's see what we get. Yeah, that should be an option. Can minus the blocker, but what does that get us? Let's just do it. Minus the blocker and then swing with him first. Yeah, let's use the leader ability on top. This is just overkill, but who cares? 8 into 4 and then 5 into 4. Yeah, let's do the character first in case it gets KO'd, and another 5 into 4, and to finish it off 6 into 4. He's now at 2 cards in his life and 4 cards in his hand. I think he played it really poorly, but yeah. He plays out the Nami, which is a blocker, and it is a trash 1, draw 2. So, but he decides not to use it, or am I dumb? Yeah. Either way, oops, I miscounted, but it's okay. Let's use this to cycle. We didn't need to play it out, but I wanted to cycle a card in hand, so it's actually okay. And now I think the game is about to be wrapped up, and we don't need to overcomplicate this. Let's just boost something on board and swing the Karasu. 8 into 4 it's just brutal. We have 5 more swings. Let's KO the blocker because it only costs 2 Don, and then swing 4 into 5. Yes sir. Another 6 into 4. And at this point I think there's nothing else that can actually get him out of this. Not even a Gum Gum Giant, because we have 3 swings and he has a blocker and possibly only 1 Gum Gum Giant. But it's what I'm assuming, of course. 7 into 4. I think he blocks this and then concedes. No, it's a Gum Gum Giant. Okay, let's see what he gets. If he gets 2 2Ks, he's fine. But I have a feeling. Oh, okay, he pitches a 2K, so he probably had 2 2Ks in hand. So let's swing this. Ah, I forgot he had the blocker still. Okay, he concedes, which is okay. Maybe he wants a rematch? Yeah, sure. Let's see how far he can go with this. And I'm mulliganing this. This is not optimal, but it's still better than nothing. And he is going first again. Yeah, maybe sometimes it's better to disrupt your opponent's strategy rather than focusing on your own strategy, and sometimes it's the opposite. And I think you have to have a good feeling about that. What I mean by that is I think it would be better for him to take second away from us, because we don't have much we can do on our 3 Don turn in comparison to our 4 Don turn. We take the hit, of course, and I'm going to play out this Ivankov and boost it to be able to cheat out the Karasu. Yeah, this is the best thing we can do in this turn, I think. 2 5 into 4s is as good as it gets, I think. And additionally we have 2 5k base characters on board as well. Yeah, it's okay. We lose 3 cards in hand, which is not that great, but it's the strategy of the deck. And Ivankov is just a, how do I say it, another option, an outlet to have an extra body on board, even though it's really costly. It is worth it if you have 2 additional characters on board, because then you will have boosted 3 with your leader. So for example, if I had 2 race max on my first turn, I'm going to take this. Let's play it out. Yeah, but this is just not that efficient. And actually now we can play another Karasu. He's at 4 now. Use our leader ability Although it's a bit dangerous because we get at 3 cards, we go to 3 cards at hand. And now swing and make him a 3. So this is as efficient as it gets. And shall I attach a Don? Nah. 5 into 3. And now another 5 into 3. And now we can attach the Don. Yeah, let's attach it. 6 into 3. Because what else will we do with the Don? Another 6 into 3. So we sequenced it actually right, and it worked. He went down to 1 life, which is, as I said, pretty brutal. And it's only his 7 Don turn now. What he can do is at 7 play out a Sanji, rest or Karasu, swing into it, but yeah, where will he go with that? I'm going to counter this out because I'm cheeky and I have 2 2Ks in hand to protect the Karasu as well. But let's see what he does. He doesn't have that many options, you know? And it's a Sanji as I expected. Rests the Karasu. But it's only a 7 into 5, yeah. 1 will go, obviously. And the second one we protect. So in hindsight, if I didn't protect the Raise Max, I would have 2 Karasus on board right now. It was a bit greedy from me because I already expected the Sanji, but it's okay because what will he do now? I can find another Karasu. No, I can't. Let's just take anything. 2K at best, but there's not much I can do with this now. Where do I go from here? He has 1 life but no Don active. It doesn't matter. Nah, I'm right. I was right in the first place. Let's use our leader ability. Pitch that card we searched just now. Boost, boost, and boost. And then swing 8 into 4. 3 cards, man. It's 2 2Ks and 1 1K. But he takes. He had to counter that out. And I can just attach all Don now and swing 12 into 4. What will he do? He would need 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. Another 2? Nah.